Is it working? Is it working? Yay! Yes. We got it to work.
See? All right. Only one try this time. We're getting better. I swear, every time we do this, we get better.
Really are.
I mean, it has been about a month since we last recorded.
That's true, but, there were reasons for that. Extenuating circumstances.
Fucking life.
We still have it. Fucking depression.
Yes! This is not a depression. Oh.
This is not about depression. This is about how we deal with the depression.
Trying to overcome our depression.
I'm pretty sure it's Assassin's Blade first, just saying.
Welcome.
Before Throne of Us. Hi!
To Ruins.
Sorry.
We're just over here having 3 conversations like we do.
They are book conversations.
Yes. They are always book conversations.
I don't know if they actually... I think we were talking over each other. This is a drinky book club. We unhinged, don't know what the hell we're doing, faking our way through life with therapy, smutty books, and lots of liquor.
Yeah, you come for the smutty books and stay for the unhinged conversations between the 3 of us.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Christina.
I'm Laurel.
I'm Claire.
And my boobies are very cold.
Because the window's open in the pod loft.
And I'm not wearing a bra.
And you're not wearing a bra.
And
it's getting warmer in here.
It is now first false spring here.
This is the second false spring.
Okay, well,
I would say at least we had nice enough weather
last week
that I was like, oh, the depression is leaving my body, and I went out and walked the dog, and then a storm blew into our part of the country,
and it looked like nuclear winter.
And I am still the Angelino, California at heart, which means if the sun's out, I wear very little clothes.
Yeah. I forgot to turn my heat on last night and woke up this morning and my apartment was like 60 degrees. Well, that's how the weather's going here in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is not fun.
Anyway.
Because boobies. I don't know why I said that. I'm not even drunk. It's just because my tits are cold.
When we have a conversation with you, there is at least a 50% chance
of boobies and smut.
On the forecast? Since we're talking about weather?
Well, honestly, I have the least amount of shame in our group and talk boobies and sex and shit unabashedly. Like, there was a whole girls' night where there was the drunken discussion on whether or not I should get shit pierced, okay?
Which one is that? There's
the 3 of us all the time.
There's lots of those where I ask the question about whether or not I should pierce more shit. Because I'm running out of tattoo space.
Don't do it. But anyway.
Not that stuff. Don't pierce that stuff. Ouchie.
Yeah.
Again,
books always make it sound better than it really is.
I know a lot of people who have pierced their nipples.
But that is very different than piercing other private parts of your body.
They did that in that demon book I lent you.
What, pierce their nipples?
Yeah.
But you also read books about, like, guys who go play truth or dare, and if they decide not to
glitter
take the
penis!
truth or the dare, they have to get a
glitter
penis piercing.
Well, so we are actually talking about a book today.
We are actually talking about a book today. Believe it or not.
We got sidetracked a little bit.
A little bit?
Well, a lot, but
this is the solidly average entry into.
So what was our genre, our theme?
The trope was
forced proximity.
It was forced proximity.
We're gonna change some things with the tropes.
We're having a really hard time picking a trope and backing a book into it, so we're gonna do the opposite.
Because we'll spin the wheel on the books right now because we haven't figured out quite how we want to do the dildo toss picking of books yet.
So we think we're going to go with our TBRs and backtrack instead of the other way around.
And try to figure out group books.
Yes.
There will be a few. We will tee this up.
Because sometimes we get good ones this way, but not like...
It forces us to read books we wouldn't normally pick.
That's true.
So I feel like we should still keep it sometimes.
But I also feel like if all of us come with like 3 or 4 books every time and we just throw it in the wheel and somebody gets the book
Throw it in the wheel, throw the dildo, whatever.
I would still be okay. I would still be reading books I wouldn't normally read.
Because we like very different tropes.
Yes.
Although we will be teeing up here in the next few episodes. There will be a couple of book reports. There will be one involving the glitter dick.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not the glitter dick books we've been talking about. It's a different glitter dick book because I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I'm lost.
I don't know.
It involves hockey superstitions.
Oh,
that one.
One.
That one, not the other glitter dick ones.
But we're
not
also,
to be confused with the other glitter dick series.
There's so many glitter dick series. Oh my god.
But
we're also
none of us end up with them, but you. Just saying.
Fair. But we are also going to go into a multiple book report type dive situation. I don't know how we're going to set it up.
I don't know, but
we're going to do ACOTAR.
We got to do ACOTAR.
We are going to do ACOTAR.
And we're all at different places. I read it like a couple months ago.
I devoured them.
Recently.
Very recently.
And
I will probably read the whole series within a couple of days.
I think we should do the first. I think we should do ACOTAR.
Oh, and then
we have to move on to the other books because there's like ACOTAR and then there's like everything else. And
so there's going to be at least a couple of episodes of
I think we
ACOTAR.
have to. Once you get going.
We're going to get increasingly drunk and increasingly unhinged.
But
I think everyone will agree with
By the time we get to Court of Silver Flames, we are going to be as unhinged as that book is.
But that's going to make it so much fun.
So much fun.
But I think you're right. Like the first book, ACOTAR has to be its own. It
has to be its own thing.
The whole
so
series.
I should just not wait for the library. We're going to be doing this. I'm going to have to buy it.
Just buy the damn books.
I'm
going to buy the damn books.
I might as well.
I feel like this is just going to be a thing.
Yeah.
That we're just going to do every now and then.
And people reread them, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I told my therapist about our the Serpent and the Wings of Night book.
Yes.
Oh my god.
She loves that book series.
Does she really?
Yes, and I'm just
like almost terrified.
I still enjoyed it. I haven't read the fourth one, but I own it.
Okay, I'm not gonna say her name, but shout out to my therapist because I finally talked to her after 4 months. And so we started talking, and she was like, very proud of you guys for getting this out there during this crazy time of the world.
All of this, just broadly.
She's like, that it's not something that's easy to get out there, like to want to do something like this and then get a group of humans together with lives and families and whatever.
Like getting all your girlfriends together is a chore. It's hard to get everyone together at the same time.
Are you kidding? Trying to organize girls' night?
Oh,
we're still trying to figure out a way to get everybody together.
Yes.
But so she was like, I'm very proud of you. Would you feel weird if I listened to it? And I'm like,
only if you listen to that Serpent in the Wings of Night and you listen to my friend just totally bash it for an hour.
I'm like, I have no problem with it, but it might be a little odd.
And
like part of our whole session is she's going through our website and she's laughing about some of this stuff.
It's going to be an eye-opening experience
like
for her,
our descriptions on our About Us pages, she sees the little Bitmoji for me.
And she's like, that's you.
And she's like, that's so you.
Yeah.
That is so you. And she's trying to guess who all the other people are.
Yes.
That I've talked about.
Oh, I would love to hear what she says.
I want to hear what she thinks. Did she get it right?
She didn't do that. She was trying to guess Stuggy.
Oh.
Trying to guess which one was Doug. And so that was a lot of fun. But
Gotcha. Yes.
It was just hilarious. And so I did a group text to the girls and I was like, is it weird that she's going to listen to my podcast?
No.
I'm like, I did warn her that we're unhinged. There's very little shame involved or no shame because...
Well, but that's the whole point of this is that there's no shame.
And we get progressively tipsy. I did tell her I was that episode, Serpent and
the
the Wings of Night.
You got trashed when I talked about Serpent and the
drunk
Wings of Night.
because it was so unhinged.
More than normal.
But ACOTAR will be a fun discussion.
ACOTAR is going to be a fun one.
I'm going to enjoy that.
Don't read any of the other ones. Just read ACOTAR. I want you to stop at ACOTAR.
Stop at ACOTAR, and we'll do that episode, and then we'll do the rest.
But wait, if we do a whole day recording, I have to read all of them. I can read all of the books and have one discussion of the book.
No. Your whole idea is going to
Okay. So this is what we'll do. We'll do next recording. We'll do 2 recordings. We'll do my book report of the Glitter Dick, and then we'll do ACOTAR. And then I will read the rest of the books, and then we will do all the rest of the recordings.
Because if you keep going through the series, ACOTAR will make sense. And I want you to go into this completely cold in the nonsensical first...
Yes!
The nonsensical amount of rage everyone else has about the first book.
See,
and then read the rest of them.
The fact that you guys have to tell me to stop reading series or not read a book because of how quickly I can read a book.
It's going to take you maybe an hour to read ACOTAR. Seriously.
She's a real fast reader. How long did it take you to read
this book? 30 minutes?
About an hour because I kept getting angry with it.
Yeah, okay, so about an hour.
Are we going to even say what the book is now, guys?
Oh, right, we need to.
Just saying.
We're 15, 20 minutes into this.
10 minutes into this. Okay.
And we haven't mentioned the rum. I'm almost done with this. I'm going to have to have a
second
one to talk about it.
Well, again, this is the first time back recording in a while after all the depression shit and the weather and everything. So
we talked about the
trope,
but it's The Bride Test by Helen Hoang. And she also wrote The Kiss Quotient, which is very popular. And so I'm going to murder this. Kai Diep has no feelings. Well, he feels irritation when people move his things, or contentment when ledgers balance down to the penny. But he doesn't experience big, important emotions like love and grief. Rather than believing he possesses emotions differently due to being autistic, yeah, that's a big thing. We get into this. He concludes that he's defective and decides to avoid romantic relationships. So his mother, driven by desperation, takes matters into her own hands, returns to Vietnam to find him a perfect mail-order bride. As a mixed-race girl living the slums of Ho Chi Minh City, Esme Tran has always felt out of place. When the opportunity to marry an American arises, she leaps at it, thinking that it could be the break her family needs. Seducing Kai, however, doesn't go as planned. Esme's lessons in love seem to be working, but only on herself. She's hopelessly smitten with a man who believes he can never return her affection. Esme must convince Kai that there is more than one way to love, and Kai must figure out the inner workings of his heart before Esme goes home and is an ocean away. Okay. Where to get started? So, I guess the whole the lead up to the story is something that we kind of had, we were saying that we might kind of have issues with. So from what we've read, right, the author ended up liking Mai or Esme, the anglicized name she picks when she comes to the U.S., liked her, and she kept becoming a bigger character. And so instead of...
So originally, what I remember reading was that originally it was like a three-way, and it was like...
He had a fiance.
Not a three-way, a love triangle.
Love triangle, thank you.
Okay.
The problem is we drank too much, okay? We took too long to get to this, and now I'm confused.
Love triangle.
It was a love triangle where, like, Kai had a fiance or a girlfriend or a love interest of some sort that Mom didn't like, so Mom went and picked up a girl from Vietnam who ended up being Mai, and then brings her back, and then Kai realizes that he actually kind of like Esme a little bit, and
it's a whole thing.
It was a whole thing, and the more that the author started writing the book, the more she realized that Mai was trying to take on kind of a bigger role in it than she planned on, so she rewrote the whole thing.
So Mai is Esme.
Yes.
You've got the white
Mai
person
is
name,
Esme, yes.
and then you've got the Vietnamese traditional name. I would note, this is going to be very out of order based on how our notes went.
Also, no one in the U.S. calls it Ho Chi Minh City, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Everybody calls it Saigon.
Yeah.
Only the communists call it Ho Chi Minh City.
Ho Chi Minh City.
But so the first thing I feel like we need to address, because it's going to bother me the whole time.
What?
Or not bother me. It's the only book I've read so far in all of the books that I've been reading with smutty shit in recent years, where they actually have a real depiction of how virgin sex works.
You had to jump to that. You couldn't wait
I
You couldn't wait till we got to that part.
Okay, but it was really funny because
it was a huge thing.
Because he has it, and then he gets self-conscious about it, and so he goes and takes a shower, and she gets very in her feelings about it, obviously, because she thinks he didn't like it. So he goes and talks to his brother, and he's like, "What did I do wrong?"
Everything.
His brother was like, "You did it right the first time?" He's like, "Yeah, that was easy."
But, now she's mad at me.
But now she's mad at me, and his brother is like, "Yeah, no, you didn't actually do it right, buddy.
Like, you had a good time.
I hate to break it to you.
She did not have a good time.
She made a lot of noises.
Like, yeah, you make good noises, but how... Seriously, sex education, we need to teach people how to fucking fuck. I'm sorry.
Well... It's not going to happen in the year 2025.
Apparently not. Okay.
Anyhow.
But like, seriously, that was my finally, because I've read too many books where virgins have sex, and it's amazing for everybody.
Mind-blowing experience.
And the big brother's like,
guys know where the guys know where the G-spot is.
Yes.
You didn't make her come, and he's like, what? So he does give him a book, and he reads the book. And he's like, okay, I can do this.
But there was a Dwight moment where they were like, you know where her clitoris is, right? And he goes, what?
Exactly.
Like, it was funny. There were spots in this book that were legitimately funny.
But
and that was really
I'm like, full disclosure, well-written, cute read, not my cup of tea. Did not enjoy it overall. I had issues with lots of it.
I struggled with it.
But I truly did enjoy the fact that she did virgin sex appropriately.
And it was fun. She made it funny.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it sucks.
But it was like
for the girl.
self-aware. Like I
It's
remember
very
I was reading it
self-aware.
and I was like, oh, the book is self-aware, right?
It's very
like,
realistic about sex
Yes.
in that case.
It is
and
realistic.
I really appreciate that.
That is the only sex in the whole book, though.
Yes, this is a single chili pepper. I would put negative chili peppers, but we are we're 1 through 5 chili peppers.
yeah.
So one disturbing lack of dicks.
Yes.
Yeah, there was no talk.
He talked about his dick a lot, but there was no,
Oh, he
like,
did. He did.
But it was no actual.
But
dicks.
there was no actual like, the act.
He talked about his dick being hard all the time. But
He did. They did talk about him wanting to eat her out at
Did they?
one point.
I don't remember that. Okay, I read.
He wanted
I read
to,
this
but
a
he
lot
He
more
wanted
than
to, but
I
he
did.
was afraid to.
Yes,
Which is fair. You don't start with that right out of the gate.
Anyway, but yeah, that was the big thing for me.
Yeah.
And I sent it to the group text with no contacts. I was like, finally a book. Well, what did I text? I was like, finally, let me see.
Like well done virgin sex or
Yeah, or
something.
something.
Like,
like that.
finally virgin sex that actually sounds normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the whole way that this whole like plot kicks off is that Mai is a cleaning lady in Saigon, and she's cleaning at a hotel or conference hall or something
Conference
like
hall
that.
or hotel
I
combo.
think it's a hotel.
Where Kai's mom, Kawa, isn't that her name?
Ko
Ko-wa.
means like aunt. Ko.
Yeah, they called her Kawa.
Yeah.
I think is how you say it. Anyway, mom is there auditioning for brides for Kai. And why did she not go after the older brother? Now that I say that out loud.
They talk about it. She goes after for Kai because Kai
Doesn't date.
doesn't date. You don't find that they don't actually talk about it at the beginning of the book, but you find out he's autistic. He's on the spectrum, and he doesn't interact. He's very regimented.
They literally say that in the synopsis of the book.
In the synopsis, but in the book itself, they don't talk about it.
No, not till a lot later.
Not till
Not until
later.
Yeah.
So she's not worried about the brother because the brother's like a playboy.
Yeah.
That's fair. So anyway, mom is there trying to find
He's
a
getting
bride.
a lot of action.
Yeah. Mom is there trying to find a bride for Kai.
And picks the
Finds
cleaning
this
lady.
poor woman in the bathroom cleaning toilets, and she's like, "Oh, you're perfect because you're not a gold digger."
She puts her through like some tests, like
It's not even tests. It's
not
just
even a
basic
test.
questions of
Yeah.
like, are you a normal human?
Yes.
And not
But
one
she
of these
doesn't ask-
plastic supermodel types.
Yeah, it's very weird and transactional.
but doesn't ask things like, do you have children or family here, or like, what kind of baggage do you have? Like none of the stuff.
No. Because
the whole book she's hiding her child and mother.
in traditional Asian families, less so these days because of the whole mental health situation that people are pushing for, you don't talk about your shit.
Yeah, fair.
So you don't talk about your kids or the autism or the
No.
all the stuff.
So I'm not gonna go into the details, but I had massive trauma as a child. Like I was 5, okay? I got therapy almost a decade and change later because I demanded it, not because it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, my Asian background is very different from some of this because my dad grew up in Latin America. My mother is was very traditional Chinese. I grew up with white people.
Yeah.
So...
And in the United States.
And then stateside. And
yes. Hi, buddy.
in Los Angeles, where everyone has an attorney, an agent, or a
Ethel, Stina,
therapist.
get the
Or
fuck
some combination.
All of them.
Or some combination of those, right?
Yes.
So, it took that. But, like, I also understand that we don't talk about our feelings. We don't talk about the heavy shit.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair...
It's not just Asian people, but we take it to the
be
extreme.
fair to Mai, right? Like, she sees an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna fuck it up by
And
being
she is upfront with the mom to a degree about, like, her life. And what...
Just not the kid.
No.
Yeah, just not about the kid.
But like
right?
she knows she's the cleaner there.
Yes. She's not hiding who she is, what she wants to do. And the fact that she says no when first asked.
Yeah, she says no, and that's what gets the mom. She's like, "Oh, you're not just in it
because the
for
mom was like, "Go marry my son," and she's like, "No, why? That's dumb, right?" And then and then mom is like, "You're perfect. which
You say
again,
what you think.
very bizarre, right?
Yeah.
And then Mom just, like, shows up, goes back home to California and just, like, shows up at Kai's house and is like, oh, by the way, I'm, like, shipping this woman over to you from Vietnam.
Here's all the fruit.
Here's all the fruit, right? And he has a totally, like, non-reaction to it, which seemed very bizarre to me because...
Also, side note, I just remembered this. He runs home from work in his fucking suit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think most of my fruit that I like from Vietnam is sent from California. I think they grow in California. Like, I can get longan. And
Yeah, you can get all
the
that
stuff.
shit in California because perfect...
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes.
Sorry,
But anyway, he had a very non-reaction to, like, his mom being like, oh, by the way, I'm shipping a woman over to Vietnam.
He's not happy about it, but it wasn't like, hell no.
Yeah, so he just, like, goes, like, and obviously, like, he can't do anything about it, so he goes to the airport, but it's not like a... You know, are you really sure you want to do this, right? Like, he just assumes that, you know, Mai is in on it, and
he's
you
just
know,
like,
just
Well,
goes
she
along with
is.
it.
She's like, I'm gonna seduce him.
yeah.
I'm gonna do what I got to.
Yeah, but there's no, like, them sitting down and him being like, okay, is this really what you want to do, or, like...
Did my mom just, like, browbeat you into this? Or...
Yeah.
There's no discussion, it's just...
Yeah.
He's like, fuck that shit, what? And she shows up and is like, I'm gonna make you bang me so we'll get married.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, like, the whole... I've had a very hard time with kind of the whole mail-order bride part in the first third of the book, and him just kind of being totally okay with all of it,
But
right?
why doesn't
It's
he
like,
just say, like...
he's admittedly
I'm not
autistic,
gonna-
and he has a very
yeah.
non-reaction about somebody coming in and moving his cheese. You know what I mean?
He was annoyed, but it wasn't, like, total freak out, right? He was annoyed.
But I wonder if it's part of the whole Asian listen to your mommy type situation. Tiger mom.
Yeah, it could be, but like but I felt like the whole premise was that he just kind of like didn't, like his mom would suggest things and he
And
would
just
kind
no
of be
big
like,
reaction.
no, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want, right? Which is like, you know, within character, right, for that. But I don't know, I just thought it was very weird that Kai was kind of just okay with it.
Did we talk about the booze at all?
No! We didn't talk about
It's a
it
little
at
late
all.
to remember they were drinking rum.
So obviously it's my pick. It was
This
a new one I
episode
just
is a
bought.
mess. As are we.
But that's part of the fun.
We've lost the plot, like many of the books we read.
No, we were talking about the book. Okay, tell about the rum now.
It's Brugal, 1888, doblemente añejado.
It's really smooth.
It's almost like bourbon.
Yes.
It's really good.
It has
It's
like an
Dominican
oaky-
Republic.
It is kind of expensive for rum.
I can't translate this right now. I'm not drunk enough.
It's like vanilla-y, oaky.
But very smooth.
Okay, hold on.
smooth.
Let me see.
Not a lot of burn.
5 generations.
Not overly sweet. Like,
I'm
try
not
this
normally.
one. Try this one as opposed to this one.
Traditional method.
What is that one?
Bamboo.
Oh, it's too sweet.
Caramel.
That's very vanilla-y.
Yes.
I like this.
It's good.
I like this.
I like that too.
Fuck, I'm too sober to translate this.
Anyway, it's
How
rum.
often do people say that?
It's rum. It's delicious.
It's really
Oh
good.
yeah, so I don't know if we've talked about it. My Spanish comes out when I'm drunk.
But this one's really good.
Yes, I like the bourbon types.
I like the bourbon.
Do you want
kinda
to? You want?
Is this the bumbo?
This is bamboo. You
That's
want to
bamboo.
like?
It's like super sweet.
I love bamboo. It's like my normal just go to.
It's like marshmallows.
Oh yeah, it's very sweet. But we, Laurel and not fucking Laurel. Claire and I are more into the bourbony type rums.
Yeah. We're
This
just
one
into
is more
bourbon.
whiskey-ish. If you want to try that one,
We'll try that one next.
to compare.
I'm glad it wasn't me. I'm
I
always
know.
the one who
Normally
fucks
it's
up.
you,
I'm
but
always the one who fucks up.
okay.
Anyway, look, Christina and I are more into the like bourbon stuff. Like we don't do sweet. Stina,
But
does
so
sweet.
this
As
one
much.
is not sweet. The The other
Because
one
you
is
brought us a bamboo.
yes.
That wasn't sweet. That
was
really
not sweet.
enjoyed.
This is the regular bamboo. The other one is like the dark, like
The black
more
bottle.
expensive.
Yeah.
Isn't Bumblebee a celebrity? Lil Wayne, was it Lil Wayne?
I don't know.
He was on the label.
I just like it. Now this one is more whiskey. It has more fire.
Oh, the Smith and Cross.
This one, the one that we're drinking and we're talking about today, is smooth and nice and not real sweet.
No.
But the Smith and Cross is like fiery. It is not rum-like.
It's like
to me.
spicy?
Yes.
Okay.
It's got some burn.
Anyway.
Does Bumblebee
I think, yeah. Oh, totally. While we're on the booze talk before we get back to the book. They do the little bottles of Tremana at the liquor store.
Yes.
So we don't have to buy the big ass bottle. That's disgusting and spit out worthy for me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Bamboo.
Preview for a future happy hour. We're going to try celebrity endorsed liquors and tequilas.
Yes.
I despise Tremana.
It is Little Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that totally makes
for
sense.
Bamboo.
Yes. I despise the Tremana. I'm sorry, Dwayne Johnson. Your tequila is disgusting. To the point where I took a drink and spat it out.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
Like, I will drink Patron if there's nothing else and people want to do shots of Patron because it tastes like vodka to me.
Been there, done that for most of my 20s.
But Tremana is... No, I didn't swallow.
Yeah, no, Tremana's just bad. It's just bad.
This episode is going to be...
is drinkable compared to Tremana.
That's okay.
Cazadores is also
Casamigos was Clooney. I think he sold his.
I think he sold it.
But we're going to put it in there because
There was, Ciroc? Ciroc was somebody too, wasn't it?
I
thought Ciroc was vodka, though.
It is vodka, but
I
it
feel
was
like
supposed to be a grape vodka.
It would be funny to do a bunch of like celebrity endorsed.
But anyway,
things.
I like this Brugal 1888.
But this episode
Rum.
is going to be so heavily
Really
edited.
good, actually. I mean, really good.
Okay. We got past hiding the chip. Okay, back to the book.
Back to the book. None of us liked the first third of it, I think, because
No.
it was just like really came off as very.
But there was also a lot of baggage and trauma that
second-
just gets dumped
At least,
on you. In the
if
beginning.
nothing, the second half was good.
There was
It was
a lot
better. It was better.
A lot of our books that we've read up until now and talked about that weren't like happy hour book or quickie episodes have a lot of trauma.
This one does too.
Right? Like the last few book
kind of.
the like whole package episodes
So-
when we do the book club situation
Yeah,
where we
so-
all read it.
So the main character,
Lots
right,
of
the
trauma.
main male character, he lost his favorite cousin that he was super close to.
Cousin/best friend.
Best friend
Yes.
in a motorcycle accident, and because he can't show his grief like everyone else, the family gives him a hard time, and he thinks he can't love. So
The main female character, Mai or Esme, we're going to use that interchangeably, has a baby daddy.
and because of that, she has to go out of school, but she's super smart, and the baby daddy and then the wife can't have children, and they want to take
That's the nightmare.
the little girl, but she knows they did ask. The nightmare is
was that
later.
he took
She has
her.
a nightmare
They
that
took her.
they actually took her.
But
But-
we all agree the first third of the book we didn't enjoy because
It took me a long time to like this book.
the author Helen
Hoang.
Hoang did a rewrite because of how she felt about the female character.
Yes.
About Mai. I mean, to be fair, I get it because like throughout the entire book she goes from this like after the intro and the test and whatever, and she starts out really housewifey.
Yeah, but she's kind
Yeah.
of like this weird feral thing that like tries to cut down
She's
trees in his yard with a
housewifey,
knife. And...
But like feral, she's like a feral housewifey,
I don't
and then
know,
she
there's-
just
there's-
owns her badassery at some point.
I'm
She's like,
Mention-
I'm gonna clean all the baseboards and
Like
everything.
she becomes like a badass bitch-ish
yeah.
because you don't
Yes.
get too much into it, but like she's also
Well,
very-
but she makes some friends, right?
oh yeah, and she's housewife. She's a feral housewife, which doesn't make sense.
But then on top of it, there's the whole layer about she's half white. Her mom had
that's
her out of
right.
wedlock, and so now that she's there in California, she
She's
wants to
looking
go
for Dad.
to Berkeley. She wants to go to
Berkeley.
Berkeley and meet her father. And the only thing she has to go from is his first name, Phil, and that he went to Berkeley because the one picture her mom has, he's wearing a Berkeley t-shirt.
Which
there's a
doesn't
really-
mean shit if you know anything about going to universities. You can just buy.
You could
the
just buy
merchandise.
one. He could have just been from California or been there on vacation or God knows.
Well, but his name wasn't really Phil. It was like
It ends up,
Gillis or something like
it's
that.
not a horrible name.
He ends up with a really stupid name in the end. But anyway.
Okay, I'll see if I can look that up while we keep
He's a
It's in,
totally
like, the
irrelevant
last chapter.
character.
It is the last chapter.
There was a lot of like.
Gleaves Philander.
That's right.
So he went by Phil because his last name was Philander. Gleaves Philander.
That sounds like an old Regency.
It sounds like very old Regency name.
Philanderer.
Yes.
Okay.
Did she pick it out of a Regency novel?
I don't have any idea where the hell she would have found a name like Gleaves.
But yeah, no, God, and I could not connect to Kai as a main character. They mentioned his looks briefly at the very beginning.
Okay, so he's hot, but he's a hot mess.
You
could
think
have
he's
said
hot?
he was hot, but they said that mine was hot too. So like it was.
Yeah, even what's his name?
Because they talk about how obsessed with her looks he is.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's good looking, but he's a pain in the butt. I'm sorry.
Even if you give allowances for someone on the spectrum or whatever, no personality.
It's really, really easy to fall into a stereotype with something like autism.
Now, having said that, the author has autism. She's on the spectrum, and so apparently in most of her books, she portrays people with autism.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can do
So
it
she's
without...
into that. So she's trying to portray a man with autism, and she's a woman with autism. So that might be a little different, but...
I'm not saying that it's problematic. I'm saying that it's like really, really easy to fall into a stereotype when you're doing something like that, because everybody's experience with neurodiversity is so different. And it shows up so differently that it's so easy to be like, he's really good at math, and it's really easy to fall into like the Sheldon Cooper thing, right? Where it's like, he's really good at math, and he likes lists, and he doesn't like his cheese moved, right? Like, well, yes, those are all things that come with autism, but like,
it's not the only thing.
But those are not the only things, so it's really easy to make him kind of like an overbearing character.
Yeah, there's the haircut touch, like firm touch thing, and
the thing is, that's not everybody that's on the spectrum.
Yes.
Some people have a sensory reaction, like the main character does. Some people are Sheldon Cooper reaction, which is very particular about certain things. He's fine with touch,
but you have to pick some of those. I mean, you can't just like. Yeah, you gotta pick some. So I figure she just picked some that maybe she has or that are more common.
They were all legitimate.
But it was leaning too hard into the stereotype.
It became too much, like, it became a crutch for his character development.
I just didn't enjoy him.
No.
It became a crutch for his character development as opposed to, like,
I didn't enjoy him, and I feel like...
He was too single dimension.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was almost a little overbearing.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know how she fell in love with him.
Like, he freaked out when she took the motorcycle. Like, absolutely lost his proverbial shit. Right? Like, yeah, okay, freak out, but, like, don't lean so hard into it that you kind of, like, don't let her, you know, you don't let her go do what she needs to do. Mm-hmm. Right? Like... Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. So you talked about the motorcycle. She doesn't have a driver's license.
So that kind of, like, took me a minute to kind of, like, realize what she had actually done when they were talking about that, because, like, she steals the motorcycle out of the garage, and I knew it was the friend's motorcycle. Like, they don't
Even though they don't mention it, but you know.
They don't say it's the cousin's
motorcycle,
motorcycle, but, like, of course he's freaking out about it because it's the cousin's motorcycle.
And that's how the cousin
died.
Like,
I had a really hard time understanding how a woman who's been in the United States for all of 2 months... I think
it's been a month by the time they take the motorcycle. Yeah. They don't do anything about... You don't know about the timeline until...
She's super good probably at riding a motorcycle.
I could get.
She's from Vietnam.
She's good at riding a motorcycle, but, like, she's riding a motorcycle in Vietnam, which is very different than riding a motorcycle in the United States. So this woman
probably
somehow...
a lot harder.
And not that she's stupid, but I had a really hard time suspending my disbelief of, like, oh yeah, she stole a motorcycle and went, you know, 6 or 7 city blocks down to the Vietnamese grocery store to get fruit.
Probably there was no one on the road. She's used to 1,000 people, like, in a swarm going 5 directions with her.
But then you're in the Bay Area. Depending on the time of day, you're going to be swarmed with traffic. I mean, nowhere near Vietnam or Saigon, but still.
Yes.
Except for knowing which way she's going, I'm sure she was more than capable of driving that.
But, like...
But the license is an issue.
License, driving laws.
Yeah, that was kind of what got
How
me.
was she not pulled
Sure,
over?
she could drive a motorcycle. That makes
In Vietnam,
sense.
you can wear a colander on your freaking head as long as you're wearing a helmet. I mean,
yes. Like,
Yeah,
we
helmets
only
are
take
required.
but you have to realize this woman has been taking the bus.
yeah.
To and from her job, and really that's it in the Vietnamese grocery store, and that's really it.
And then he drove her once he realized.
Yes.
In Vietnam, we only take pictures if there's 5 or more people on that motorbike. Just saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So one time, there was a little girl, the mom, a little girl, grandma. Grandma has football carrying 2 babies in each arm.
Girl.
It was awesome.
Girl. And driving the motorcycle.
No, she wasn't
She
even
was
holding
riding.
on. She was just gripping with her thighs. Grandma.
Oh my God.
Grandma, yeah.
Girlfriend.
The mom was driving. Yeah.
But then he had like a huge overreaction out of all of that too, right? And then it
That's
turned
6
into
people,
like,
just saying.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, fair, but like they've been doing that since babyhood in Vietnam, not in fucking
Fair.
stateside.
Yes, in the Bay Area, in California.
Where again, the most extreme thing you do is you split a lane.
Yes.
The most extreme. She's used to thousands of people going different directions. I mean, if you've ever tried to cross a street in Vietnam, you just have to walk slowly and people just swarm around you in all directions. And as long as you don't like dart anywhere, no one's going to run you over.
Yeah. But still,
But
I don't know.
Ooh.
And then she got on the highway. I mean, I think that's where I had the biggest struggle is that she somehow managed to navigate the highway in California.
In
I
California,
wouldn't
it's
get on the
freeway.
highway,
Don't call it the highway.
You know, like if it had been
the
side
fucking
streets.
freeway.
If
I'm
that
sorry.
had been side streets, that would have
This is
been
one
one
of
thing.
those hills I will die on that pisses
Here, it's a highway.
the freeway.
No,
That
it's a
pisses
highway.
Fucking Dougie off is some of the hills I die on for my California-ness.
Is
It
this-
will never go away.
It's a fucking highway.
It's
It's
a
the
highway
freeway.
here.
It's a highway.
And you take the
And
10,
they
the
all- and
405,
Have
the
you ever
WCA.
taken that language test, that one they used to have online, where about different people in different places? And like,
Oh yeah,
do you call it a highway or freeway?
I'm always California. It's
Do you,
always.
do you call it a roundabout? Do you call it like a garage sale or a yard sale? Like, those are fun. What? Who
Yeah.
did that study?
I don't
It was
remember
like
who
10
did
years
So
ago.
Dougie gets really pissy at me because I call all the things cups, and he's like, no, that's a no, it's a cup.
It's a glass.
It's a
or
cup.
it's a mug.
It's a cup.
Mr.
It's all
Laurel
cup.
gives me shit because everything's Coke.
It's always
if,
a cup.
if it's any kind of soda, it's a Coke.
Yeah.
You-
What kind of Coke?
It's a Coke. Yeah, what kind?
The first time
Nice.
someone asked me about pop, I was like, what?
But that's a Midwestern thing.
Is
but
it?
that's like a Midwestern. Like if you go north,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
pop.
Oh, is
If
it?
you come like farther south in
Coke.
the
Coke or
Midwest,
soda.
it's Coke,
Mhm.
right?
And I'm just like, I don't drink soda very much at all. I stopped drinking soda we call it soda. I stopped drinking soda in high school when I started
switched
high
from-
school. I just stopped.
I switched from Coke to coffee in late college, I guess.
And we're not in the Midwest, so we're not in the South. So like tea here, if you order tea where we are in the
They
Midwest,
have to ask you.
Well,
you have to
ask,
tell them unsweet.
You have to ask if you want sweet or unsweet here.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're in the South, you
They're-
only get it
I
sweet.
hate sweet tea.
It is
Ooh,
only
me
sweet.
too.
It
I'm
is only
sorry.
Oh,
sweet.
God.
You can't get it unsweetened in the South.
I don't like the I don't
unsweet.
like sweet tea like the South does.
Oh, my
Ooh,
ex-husband
no.
was
Ooh.
sweet tea, and it was like
Ooh.
he had to make it because I could not make it
Ooh.
properly, and it was like several cups of sugar
Ooh.
for tea. It was disgusting.
But like we had this whole discussion, Dougie and I, last night at
he
dinner.
sweetened like his regular like hot tea.
Ew.
Yes.
Like we had this whole discussion at dinner on seafood of all things because he's not a big seafood eater, and I'm like, I get it because
Really?
in the Midwest.
We're landlocked here. Our seafood sucks.
Well, the only
Whereas-
seafood we get has to be frozen normally.
And
Yes.
and only
But I love
recently
seafood.
it's gotten so much better here,
It
like
has.
massively. But
It
I keep
has,
telling
yeah.
him like,
But then you have to expand your repertoire.
and I was like, he's never had Chilean sea bass. And
Seriously, I got it at
Okay.
Aldi's last week.
before we do that, let's talk really quick. We get overfishing. Please don't come at us for that.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I love Chilean sea bass. I don't eat it very often, but I love it because my ex-boyfriend gave me a whole fucking dissertation about
It's
Chilean
a special
sea bass.
little treat. I don't eat sushi every day.
But like, I love Chilean sea bass. And it's not something you do very often. One, because it's super expensive.
Yes.
It's expensive and it's overfished. I get it.
We get it, but it's delicious. But like,
It is.
so we went to a seafood restaurant, Thai seafood place,
Mm.
and we had this whole discussion with our server as well because I was trying to understand his view on like seafood. Because for me, I grew up going to the fish market at the pier.
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten sea urchin out of its shell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh.
No, that's not a thing here.
See, Mr. Laurel is from the East Coast, and so he had it's
The
similar,
lobster
but the
and-
other, like,
with like shellfish.
fresh, like soft crab and
Yes.
all that stuff.
I also spent some time on the East Coast.
Oh man, when
I
I lived on
have
the East Coast for a while, I could go to Wegmans and we could get I could pick out that fish and they would fillet it there and it was fresh out of like the water.
The most vivid memory. I was very young. I don't know if it's a vivid memory or a video of the memory that we made.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
I was about 3, so you kind of making some.
You kind of remember it. Some of it's like the picture.
Yeah.
Because like there's some where there's no pictures
It's
of it.
there,
where it's
but
happened.
you remember it because you see the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We had a bushel of fresh blue crab in the bathtub, and I had one of those very large, long chopsticks.
Yep.
Oh.
And I was fascinated with poking the crabs in the bathtub,
Yeah.
and my dad was terrified I was gonna fall in.
Oh my god.
But like, so I've had the East Coast seafood, but
One
I
time-
grew up on the fresh fish market.
Yeah.
Like we've driven to Baja and gone out to the fish market at the crack of dawn to get fresh caught. Or we were telling the server best ceviche in Baja
Oh god.
was out of some dude's truck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The back of his
Oh, yeah.
the bed of his truck, and he's prepping it because he went diving in the morning and got
Yeah.
fresh clams.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, we had
And Georgia-
in Puerto Rico in Vieques we had conch ceviche
Oh.
every night.
Oh my
Conch and
God.
octopus ceviche.
Oh, Dougie gets so mad at me
Oh,
with
God.
with
Octopus.
octopus. I
Conch and octopus ceviche.
So we're going to Europe in
Die for
the
that.
fall.
Yeah.
We're gonna finish in Barcelona.
Mm.
There is a restaurant that I saw somewhere or somehow where they do traditional preparation of octopus.
Yum.
And I am like, we are so going to find this place and go.
Yes.
So we finished our trip, our cruise in Europe during the middle of the week. So we're going to be there through at least a couple of days before we come back. So I can go find this
Yes.
bloody place.
restaurant.
And my dad will probably randomly show up on this trip. If you've listened to this episode, not this episode, but other episodes, you'll know my nomad of a father likes to randomly decide to go random places in the world. And will randomly send me a message and tell me, I'm going to South America or Europe or Asia, or hey, I feel like going to Antarctica today.
Yeah.
So he will probably show up.
Yeah.
How about talking about seafood? Last time we were in Vietnam, we were in Vung Tau, and we had like a combination with lots of different crabs that I hadn't had, but also snails. They were excellent.
Oh yeah.
The-
Dougie gets weird
snails.
when I like the fact that I like snails.
We had escargot in Paris,
Yeah.
but they weren't the same kind of snails as in
So
Vietnam.
there
but
was a
they were
place
super good.
in Monterey Park that was a like hot pot, like Korean barbecue type situation.
Oh god, yeah.
I've eaten snails since I was a child.
Yes.
They don't have any flavor. They soak up all that flavor from everything.
Yeah.
Like garlic and butter.
Yes.
And
Yes. The snails don't taste like anything. It's
they're
what
not
you
like
marinate
particularly
them
like
in.
fishy or
And so
anything else.
Dougie
No.
was just like, wait, you eat escargot?
Yes.
They're more of
Yes.
a texture than they are a
Yes.
flavor.
Well, considering the fact that he doesn't like stuff like sweetbreads.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do like sweet
If
breads.
they're prepared well, I like
If they're
sweetbreads.
prepared well.
If they're not prepared well, I won't touch them. But he doesn't like pate.
I don't like pate,
yeah,
but I
don't
like
pate.
sweetbreads.
Well, I take that back.
Depends on the pate. Like, Braunschweiger.
Mr. Laurel loves pate
Good
and head
pate.
cheese and stuff. I do not, but
Good
I
pate,
do
good head
like.
cheese.
I do like head cheese.
Like
I do
the-
like
The best banh mi's
Sweetbreads.
that have, like, the head cheese and the pate.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
We have a good place in town I'll tell you about that has really good
There's
banh mi
one that
program.
does banh mi. It might be the same place. I don't know. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Mhm.
My nail tech's cousins own it.
Well, next door is a place where all the nail techs buy their supplies. I'm just saying, because that's where my lady goes.
Oh, well, my nail tech's cousin owns this one place, so I
Okay.
support it. Wait, where were we in the book? We
We-
sidetracked
We
completely.
got
again.
very sidetracked.
I need more rum.
We were on. We were were talking about how Kai, like, they leaned a little too hard in the autism.
And we like the brother better than we like the
Oh,
male
okay,
lead.
so back to that. So at one point, right, the brother is like, I'll take her. I think she's cute and she's funny and I'll take her if you don't want her. And he backs off and she doesn't pick the brother.
The brother is so much better.
The brother is nice. He's kind. He's good big brother. He's good at sex. Take him. What the fuck?
Well, she doesn't know he's good at sex. They haven't had sex yet.
Well, he's nice and he's not quirky. And he's
brother,
also good looking.
Yeah, the brother doesn't rely on a very specific character trait to flesh out his character. He's just the cool older brother.
But he's a secondary character. He has more dimension and depth than the main fucking character.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And we're also looking...
I figured it out. This is why I have a problem with Kai. It's not that he's autistic. It's that's all he is.
That's what I'm saying is that, like, it just became a crutch, right? Like, and he even admits that he has the social skills of a landscape brick, but, like, come on, guys, like...
Yes, but you can be autistic and be three-dimensional and have personality and... Look, I have cousins on the spectrum. They are not one-dimensional. They are more than they're neurodivergent.
Yes. And I don't know if anyone wants to, like, get into this, like, if they can help us. But, okay, so she calls him, like, on Kai, which is, like, older brother Kai.
But he's supposed to be her fiance, and she calls him big brother. Like, what the fuck?
Kind of creepy. And then she calls, I don't know how to pronounce his name. The brother?
Quan.
Calls him Ka. And that's, like, it's like... your uncle. It's like your mother's brother.
This
it's like
is not
uncle,
my culture. I don't understand.
But it could also be like, I guess, okay, I'm looking this up. A young male friend, young male stranger. But she calls him like big brother Kai, and this is her fiance. And then the mother-in-law.
Sort of fiance.
Yeah. The mother-in-law she calls Ko, which is probably appropriate because that's like aunt.
Yes.
Okay, aunt. All right,
but that's how she introduces her. Like, I feel like that's how Mom introduces herself as Kawa, which makes it Kawa.
Yeah,
which makes me think that it's like maybe actually like also an honorific of some sort.
Yeah. It's like like a nice. You say it to aunts or
polite.
women that are older than you that you're being
as
to.
the Asian, the resident sort of Asian. Like, yes, I'm pure-blooded Asian, but I grew up white-ish. Fuck, I don't know what I am. I'm a weird hodgepodge of fucking cultures because of my family's weirdness.
There you go.
But it was a sign of respect of your parents, friends, or the adults.
You call them aunt,
right?
Like
or uncle.
Ko in Vietnamese, Yes.
But especially you did it with your close family friends because you liked them and you respected them,
right?
Yes.
And then with people you didn't know as well, it was definitely more of an honorific, like it showed respect.
Yes.
And I get that Kai was a total stranger, but she was also like, "You're my
You're my sort of future husband, but I'm also gonna give you an honorific," and it was very weird.
But I feel like Mom introduced Kai as on Kai, right? And I think she just followed along with it. So I thought it was an honorific. I didn't realize that it was.
It is so. Brother. Look, that is not my. I don't understand. But again, I'm a bad Chinese person. Let's just put it out there.
My frame of reference is Japanese, right? Which has, like, very formal, and casual, right? So I was like, okay, it's just a formal way of, like, referring to...
I am the worst person with Asian culture, which is really, really sad, and I fully admit it.
And maybe it's racist for me. Like, being like, I don't know, man, it's an honorific, like, Japanese.
We're trying to understand, so please don't come at us about your political correctness.
But if you know for sure that it's, like, also an honorific,
also,
like,
we're general titles.
I feel like we should put this out there. We might not be completely politically correct. We don't mean any harm. We're trying to understand. So don't come at us. Just let us know. Be polite. If you're going to be mean,
we're losing the thread.
Fuck you.
We're losing the thread again.
Okay.
It's fine. We can lose this. This is part of the fun. Some of it makes sense. Some of it doesn't. That's why this works for us.
I like it because they're very specific. Like, you can tell by the words whether it's paternal or maternal.
Yes.
If the aunt and uncle is younger than your dad or mom, or if they're older than your dad or mom, it's very specific. It's kind of nice. I like that.
Because you always know the birth order.
Right.
Look, I recognize my mom's siblings, my aunts, in number order.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
Yeah.
I grew up with it. It was like big aunt, second aunt, third aunt, fourth aunt, mom, sixth aunt.
So, like,
So the fact that my cousin, I'm like texting with my cousins, they're like so and so by their like names, and I'm like, I don't know what
So,
you're talking about.
Mr. Laurel's dad is the oldest son. So, he has an honorific, and when he talks to his aunts and uncles, they are younger aunts or uncles, which is different than what they call my father-in-law. And my husband is the oldest son of the oldest son, and then my stepson is the oldest son of the oldest son of the oldest son.
Well, and see, this is where it's weird in my family because my mother's side of the family,
And then your mother's side is different than your father's
my
side.
mother's side was very traditional.
Yes.
So
Isn't
respect
your dad the oldest?
was big
Also?
on, yes. And my dad's side of the family is a little different. My dad is the oldest son, but he's not the oldest child.
Oh, is that different? Being
But
the
he's the
oldest
oldest
son
son.
as
It
opposed
doesn't
to
matter. You're the oldest
He's
son.
the oldest son.
You see, my father-in-law is the oldest son and oldest child.
But he's the oldest son of the oldest son, but he grew up in Latin America.
So he's the head of the house. Still.
He grew up in South America, so
Of the
it's very
family.
different
Yeah.
culturally there.
Yeah.
God, that was a weird. Time.
Anyhow. Okay.
Anyway, we've diverted again.
We've diverted again. So anyway, there's a
Expectations versus
hierarchy.
But
to
this is a
right?
whole what the fuck about families. It's expectations, cultures. Like it ties into it.
Yeah, but all of it
Sort
was,
of.
but it was a little hand wavy. Like a lot of this felt very hand wavy to me.
I think it would have been a longer book and harder to read and more like Joy Luck Club if she involved all of the cultures. And like all the reasons, like went into detail and depth, and like built out.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice to have a little bit of that context.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
especially between us. Only Laurel has any insight into some of the details.
Well, okay.
Compared to
Yeah.
I mean,
Compared to the rest of us, right?
within this specific culture.
Yeah,
To be fair, though, Asian culture and I do not fully understand each other to begin with. So
I'm gonna say honestly that having some insight into Vietnamese culture.
you have some.
Yeah, but that whole like not really talking about
That's it. That's very much.
stuff.
I don't think it's just an Asian.
It's not-
No, it's not just
It's
Asian.
not.
It's
but
more. It was a thing until the millennial uprising about mental health.
Yeah.
Let's be
It was
real.
everybody like just
Generational
pushing it
trauma is
aside.
real, guys.
Yeah.
Well, but you also said when we were talking about this, like I said, the women were a little bit overbearing in
And
this.
as Asian.
I might have seen that possibly
Dude, I
in action.
lived it.
Like it came off a little stereotypical, but I can also see.
Are
why
you
that
kidding?
would-
The amount of times I was asked, "Are you seeing anyone?"
I'm totally the weak link in my family. My mother-in-law totally calls me when she wants to talk to my husband. She knows I will answer.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, but I get that bullshit when I go home too.
But not quite mother-in-law, but after 13 years almost, mother-in-law at this point.
Yes.
If she can't get a hold of him, I get a text message.
Well, of course. So that's everybody.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just boys.
It is boys.
Yes. But anyway, let's see. What was our other note? It wasn't very spicy. I mean, we kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Kai talked about his equipment.
I mean, this was the virgin sex, but the whole my favorite scene was when he goes to his brother.
Yes.
And the brother has to phone a friend to explain the intricacies of sex.
It's their cousin.
Was it their
cousin, friend,
Yeah,
whatever
it was.
to understand how to make it good for the woman and why Mai got pissy at him when he got up and took a shower.
Because he didn't let her come. And then he went and took a shower and didn't finish.
Didn't finish her.
Didn't finish
and
her.
didn't snuggle because and it's just like
So
But he
then
didn't
the brother
realize
lends
what
him a
he was
book.
doing.
But
He was like,
he
it
does,
was wham bam, thank you ma'am, fuck off. Was
and he
essentially-
does read a book and fixes it in the future, but still.
But when I read that scene, I thought that maybe he got like overwhelmed or overstimulated and like took off, and it was like later realized in the book.
No,
that,
he finished. He was done.
He finished. He was
done.
done. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go take a shower because I'm sweaty and I don't want to get her sweaty
And
too.
it wasn't even like it was. Literally, what it was they got hot and heavy. He stuck his dick in her, came really fast, and left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the brother was like, "So did you get her off?" And he was like, "What?
What?
That's a
What
thing?"
about her clit? Her clit?
There was like a Dwight
Wow.
Schrute moment, right? If like
Huh?
you touched her clitoris, right? And he was like, "What?"
What?
Oh, I almost had a meltdown the other day because Bob wasn't working.
Oh.
Oh.
You needed new batteries?
Yeah.
So I charged it and was like, "What?" And then I remembered, oh, I should probably hit the power button longer.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Because I don't need Bob that frequently.
No.
And then
Bob works on a pinch.
Dougie comes in, he's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Bob's not working." He's like, "Who's Bob?"
Oh God.
He doesn't know who Bob is? I don't know if Mr. Laurel knows who Bob is either, but
I mean, granted, it's not.
Bob
I
lives in
really
our
should.
house.
I have 3.
Yeah.
One is a silly, like, novelty, like, wand with a fucking butterfly on it.
yeah.
That is
Sure.
just funny, and I think
Yeah.
will be added to the dildo vibrator collection up here,
Mhm.
and not one we use. And then I have 2 really nice, expensive ones, where one is, like, it hooks in,
Okay.
and is a G-spot and clit vibrator.
Sure.
And then I have one that is like more dildo vibrator with a clit, but it vibrates, rotates, and thrusts.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
That's terrifying.
Man, I need to up
Not a heavy thrust. It's just like a little,
I
just
need to
enough.
up my Bob
Terrifying.
game. Damn.
God damn, girl.
Dude, this is what happens when you have friends who invite you to like
Does
sex
it-
toy like parties.
It's been so long since I've been to one of those.
No. Does it make you a drink afterwards or something? Does everything
nice in a
everything's
club.
short of like
And the
aftercare?
Maybe a
silicone,
cigarette? I don't know.
I know, right?
silicone that it's so soft and like it feels so nice.
I don't want soft, I want slippery.
It's soft and slippery. It's so nice.
How did we get here? Y'all are
This
drunk.
book is not spicy as
Y'all
fuck.
are drunk. Okay, let's move on to the rest of our notes.
Well,
but
wait, motorbike.
we talked about we talked about it. We talked
No.
about the bike.
Yeah,
Okay, we talked about the fruit. We talked about. I vaguely mentioned that she cuts down trees with this Japanese.
with Japanese
knives.
kitchen knives. You do not destroy good kitchen. Japanese kitchen knives are fucking amazing.
Absolutely get me going.
We talked about the not normal reaction.
Yes.
The stereotypes and gaslighting.
Yes.
Do we?
What? No, we didn't talk about the gaslighting. There was a
No,
lot of.
it was stereotypy. We didn't get to gaslighting.
Well, there's a lot of like
Gaslighting him.
talking about his experience and everyone being like, no, that's not how it is. Like everybody gaslights Kai, which is the only thing that.
Yes,
makes
except
sense.
maybe the brother. The brother tries.
The brother does.
The brother does try.
But we're gonna divert. Why? Okay, so in the book, she won't marry Kai unless it's for love, but she will pivot and marry the brother, not for love.
But this is what irritated
Fuck
me.
Kai would have married the brother when she had the chance at the party.
But this like irritated me about the book, and that's what irritated me about the brother too. Right? Is that Kai was admitting that like he didn't think he understood what love was, or that he wasn't capable of it, which is totally a thing. And everyone was like, no, you really have to love her. Like, I know what love looks like, right? It just felt very guess.
Yes,
Lady,
they did do that
and then
to
she
him.
was very much like, I won't do it unless it's for love. And he's like, I don't think I love you, which is also totally
Then
legitimate.
call it. Just call
But then,
call it,
then
right?
she's
So the
like,
brother-
I'll marry the brother.
So then the brother's like, I know a way to get to him, and so she
Sure.
they basically send out invites the week of for the wedding
to
because
marry the brother.
her visa's running out because the brother's like, well, I'll take you,
And it's like,
but she doesn't love the brother, and she admits that she doesn't love the brother, and
But
she
she'll marry
and
him
the brother
anyway.
doesn't love her either.
But they'll
clearly.
get married.
But
Yes.
they both know that. They both go into it
It's-
knowing they don't love each
I-
other.
But really, it's kind of a way of gaslighting Kai into
It
also
is.
marrying the woman again.
It is.
What I'm getting at, right? Like, I don't know, that just kind of, it irritated me on behalf of Kai, too, right? Like, everyone just kept undermining his experience.
It's the general consensus of our book club.
Yes.
We don't like Kai.
No, not really.
No, he was fine. Like, I could see where he was coming from, but he was just...
But the fact that he was fine is not something you want in a male main
he's just
character.
fine.
He
was
should just
fine.
be fine on his own like he was.
He
had a
was-
good job that he loved. He was fine with his routines. Just leave him the fuck alone.
He was a little bit of a straw man character. Like, he just had he was not
He is
three-dimensional.
You write the whole point of romance novels is you can put yourself sort of in the character of the female if that's how you swing and you like the guy. So you can fall for the guy or fall for the other character. This was fuck you, I don't want you.
But again, like, the whole end of the book was very hand-wavy, right?
Yeah, at the party, she had the chance to take the brother, and she didn't. I was like, take him.
Yes!
Yes!
That was a wedding.
Take
the
him.
wedding, the
That
first
was one
wedding.
of the, like, 4 weddings that
Yes.
they did in
Like,
this
go
book.
with the brother. He wants to go read a book in the corner. Go
Great.
dance with the butter.
Go dance with
Butter.
the brother.
I said butter.
He would
Brother.
have understood. He was like, I understand why you'd want my brother. He's also good
Yes.
looking. He's smart. He knows
Well,
how to
he
do sex.
But he swung wildly from, like, sure, yeah, go with the brother, to no, I don't want you to actually
Internal
marry the brother
monologue,
after
but
all.
never told her any of this.
No.
Internal monologue.
No.
From the only thing I can relate to with Kai's perspective is at a shindig he's not a big fan of. Go read in the corner.
Look, man, I have done the same thing.
Oh, Dougie and I, the first 2 years of our relationship, I went to how many fucking metal shows with him? Where I sat in the corner and read a book?
Parties are overwhelming, weddings are overwhelming. I have, like, legitimately, like, disassociated on my phone.
But, like, I do that at metal shows with Dougie. To the point where I finally stopped going.
I took books to restaurants for, like, years.
Oh, the invention of the Kindle app?
So, like,
On mobile?
I can see where he's coming from, but at the same time, like, it felt very hand-wavy that it kind of went from, like, oh, he doesn't want the brother to intercede.
Look,
to...
this whole thing
Or
would have
it's
been
totally
solved.
okay if the brother takes her, but then it's not okay.
This would have been completely solved in the first couple of chapters if they sat down and had fucking real discussions.
Look, man, it would have been an exceptionally short book if he had looked at her and been like, do you really actually want to do this? And she would have said, yeah, I'm really only in it for the green card.
And
End of book.
he probably would have helped her get the green card.
Yes,
He
and then
would've.
they got married, and then if they ended up falling in love and he had an issue, sit down and fucking talk.
But it would have been totally okay if they had both gone into it with eyes wide open and
Yes.
been like, oh,
Lavender
yeah.
marriages are a
Yes.
thing.
But it was very weird that
He's
she
not
went...
even gay.
Exactly.
But it went very much from, like, I am only going to get Kai. It was almost like Mai was going really hard on, I'm going to prove Auntie wrong, Kowa wrong, and, like, make her son fall in love with me, right? Like, it sort of lost the thread at some point there, right? Of, like, I'm going to make her son love me, right? But, like, if that doesn't work, I'll just take the other son. You know what I mean?
That doesn't need help.
That doesn't need help.
Just take the other son.
Just take
He
the other
was so
son.
much better.
I know.
Look,
And he totally looked at her and was like, you know what? If
He
you're
had a
only
great
doing this
job
in the green
also.
card, yeah.
He was good at sex. He was a good brother and family member.
he had more than one dimension. He was more than his issue.
Yes.
And, like, it all turned out fine. Great. Happy ending. Wonderful. You know what I
Happy
mean?
ending that was
But it was-
speed bike into the wall happy ending.
But it was very, like I said, hand-wavy.
It was literally the last several pages where
Yeah.
Kai shows up at the wedding to stop the wedding because all of a sudden he realized, no, I don't want her. Like, he realized, oh, this is love or whatever the fuck it was.
I don't want her to marry my brother.
Her weird Regency romance named father randomly shows up and still loves the mom of all things. They discover the brother.
After 25 years.
They discover the daughter.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
discovers
Kai
his
shows
daughter.
up and Maya's like, oh yeah, this is my daughter. And Kai is just, like, totally okay with it.
And
Even though
then
he doesn't want children.
And then all of a sudden, she's graduating with like a
Like a
degree.
master's in accounting or something like
Well,
that.
here's the
Cum
thing.
laude from Berkeley.
Cum laude is only undergrad.
Stanford.
Yeah, so maybe that's her under. I don't know.
So she graduated summa cum laude from her undergrad, and I'm like, what?
Yes. Which is entirely possible. But it was all very hand-wavy. Like, the end of the book was just kind of like, okay, let's wrap this up.
As we always say, props to the author. This was not a Kindle Unlimited read.
I didn't hate this. It was cute.
Yeah, it was cute.
It
But it also didn't do it for me either.
it's like a not quite sip. It's not a spit, but it's not a not quite. It's a not quite sip. You know, it wasn't.
It felt very commercial romance novel-y, right?
It was very surface level formulaic.
Yes.
Okay.
Very hand-wavy at the end.
So it's a sip
I mean,
more
it
towards
was
the negative side.
It was a sip.
You know, like it's
It wasn't quite spit, but it was closer. It was between
spit
spit
and
and
sip.
sip.
You
It
know?
was like halfway. It was spit and a half
Yeah.
sip.
And we've already talked about the disturbing lack of dicks. in this.
Yes, we have.
He talked about his dick a lot.
Yes,
He did.
but there
And-
was no sex.
And Mayan Hammer Pants gets it on for him, but, you know.
Oh, that's right.
That cracked me up.
And no bra.
That cracked me up.
No
And no
bra
bra, because she hates bras.
The hammer pants.
She also has sensory issues. Here we are. Yeah, disturbing lack of dicks.
And then
When did we think of the drink?
8 all-inclusive, almost coming back from.
I'm on my second.
I think this is my third
glass
pour.
of
Granted, I haven't been pouring very much.
All inclusive to going back for more.
Yes,
somewhere, like
for the
really
yes.
actually
4.5 cocktails.
Clearly, we need to rethink our whole book choosing.
I think that backing the book into the tropes and talking about the tropes, as opposed to like trying to pick a trope and then pick the book from the trope.
I feel like every so often though we should pick a trope because we have very specific tropes we like.
But I think we every so often should also like physically go to like a romance bookstore and be like, hey, I want a trope in this, and have them recommend us something.
Yeah, or we can just pick, or we can go to the trope list and pick a trope we don't read normally. And go, okay, this is what we're going to try to find.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to expand it, otherwise we're going to get, what we're going to end up with.
This is going to turn into a romantasy.
We're going to end up with romantasy, Regency, or glitter dick hockey.
Yes.
One of the three, and I know everybody wants to expand from that.
Yeah.
But those are good too.
Well, it'll be glitter dick sports or, Menage, BDS, like, it'll be in our trope range, and that won't expand our...
And mine will be Regency Romantasy.
Yeah, I'm almost always going to be romantasy.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with romantasy spans so much.
Romantasy spans a lot, and I've run into a lot of different, like, romantasy has a pretty broad spectrum of tropes.
We do also want to, I want to get into the fairy tale romance retellings.
Yeah.
Because there's the whole, like, Peter Pan ones, or, like, Alice in Wonderland ones.
See, I started some of the more mythological ones.
I love the
which
mythological
I prefer.
ones.
I love mythology.
Ooh, the Sin and Chocolate series. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It's like a 6-book. Demigods.
What kind of mythology?
Demigods.
Okay.
Children of Hades, Poseidon, etc. The main characters are a child of Poseidon and a child of Hades. And the child of Hades is the female.
Ooh.
I did that first one in Neon Gods. I probably need to get more of those.
No, I was like, oh, this is interesting and weird. Read it.
I just had a good idea.
It's Kindle Unlimited. It's 6 books. They're quick reads. They're super spicy, but there's so much like character like you find out so much about the main female character, about her power and kind of who she is and how she became that way because of her mother, and the main male character overbearing, all that kind of abusive father thing, but like how they fit together and how they fall in love and everything. It's Kindle Unlimited, but something about it is it's Kindle Unlimited. I bought these books. Okay. Sin and Chocolate is the first one.
No.
What was your idea?
We should do a series. We should do a run at some point where we read each other's favorite books.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Are we talking favorite normal books or favorite spicy books?
Spicy books, probably.
Yes.
Yes.
So one of my favorites also has a little bit of spice too. Like, I'm thinking in the like romance realm.
Okay.
But like our favorite in the romance realm books. It doesn't need to be like I'll read glitter dicks, but my favorite is not necessarily glitter dick.
I've been extolling the wonders of Discovery of Witches for like months now.
Yeah, so like...
And I bought it, I just haven't read it yet.
Yeah, do a series where we read each other's favorites, right? And then we do a book report, like, so like I could read, Sin and Chocolate or something like that, and then do a book report on it.
If it doesn't have to be favorites, it's anything that might have been on Kindle Unlimited or something that you tried that you weren't sure about and then you fell in love with.
Yes.
I think would work. Because
and I think that sort of works too, because my favorites, quote unquote, like, I have on Kindle that I could loan to you.
Right.
Right?
And
you can loan shit?
Yeah, you can, but you can't read it while it's loaned out.
Well, that's not a problem.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it would be fun if I was like, oh, this is one of my favorites, and I go back and read this one frequently because it's kind of a comfort book for me. And it's like kind of spicy.
Like, I love the Laurel K. Hamilton books.
Yes.
They're dirty and they're dark, Well, here's what's interesting. You want to know how I got into Laurel K. Hamilton's books? The Anita Blake series? The first book was a graphic novel. The first book was redone in a graphic novel. The first graphic novel was like the first third of the book. And I couldn't find the next graphic novel. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it, I'm buying the book. And then I ended up with, I literally have all the books either in paperback or on digital. And I have the Mercy Gentry series too.
I used to have my favorites in hardback, I think, or in like physical copies. I think I only have digital copies.
Well, so what's hilarious is in college, I had so many like paperback romance novels to the point where I donated a bunch of them.
I've had to purge a couple of times.
I almost had all of Nora Roberts. Now I only keep the ones I really like.
I still have all of my like Sookie Stackhouse books.
I love the show of True Blood.
I read all the books first and I love them. And then I watched the show later. Oh my god. I got HBO just for that.
Like my favorite Nora Roberts books. I keep.
I haven't read any of them. My mom used to have a whole bunch.
I really like her fantasy-inspired romance novels that are like trilogies that involve. Some of them are witches and magic or fae and like gods and ghosts, like the supernatural romance novels that she has. And then she has some standalones that are more like mystery-ish ones. Yeah. And then I love the J.D. Robb books, but it's because it's more true crime with romance than it is romance.
Yeah. Well, then there's all the Bridgerton books.
Yeah, the Bridgerton.
Yeah. Those are
we need to do a trope, right? Because I'm not normally.
Cushiel.
Yeah, we could do Cushiel. That's like historical romantasy-ish.
Well, yes, because she's
an interesting trope,
and it gets very dark.
They get very dark, but I like those.
But I still haven't read Jocelyn's story because I'm still halfway through.
No, I haven't. I haven't picked that one up either. But I've had so many other things that I've been reading, like.
So,
like, Laurel loaned me ACOTAR and I just, like, burned through
Oh, God,
those.
you have to.
My TBR.
And I bought Onyx Storm and realized I didn't remember most of Iron Flame, so I'm, like, rereading that one before I read Onyx Storm. So there's, like, a lot going on
I'm
right
not
now.
rushing the Imperium series because the next book isn't coming out for 2 years.
That's fair.
So I'm not rushing it.
That's fair.
And I did find the, like, overarching synopsis.
I also don't want to be spoiled, and I run in enough circles with the romantasy stuff that, like...
Dude... I read the synopsis-ish that I found on Onyx Storm. It's so fucking confusing.
Well, see, I haven't started any of the series, so I bought, Fourth Wing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wait till summer.
Like, I'm the type of person that doesn't mind being spoiled, because I can still...
enjoy it.
That's fair. That's fair.
But... it pisses Dougie off all the time because of movies. Like, I don't mind spoiling movies for myself because I can go and submerge myself in the film, in the theaters, and enjoy it still.
I want to raw dog it once, and then, like... So I have legitimately, like, played a video game straight through in, like, 72 hours to not spoil myself on how it ends. Because I want to, like, raw dog the story the first time and be able to have legitimate reactions to it. And then go back and play it again and like pick up on the little things
that you will enjoy. Interconnected, Women of the Other World.
Women of the Other World.
What about Blood and Steel? Have you guys done the Blood and Steel yet? I haven't done that yet.
What is Blood and Steel?
It's supposed to be really good.
Familiar.
It's supposed to be really good.
I don't know.
Everybody
Laurel's more connected than
she's more into the book talk.
I totally watch book talk stuff all the time.
Okay. Well, we need to do a book talk.
What is this? What is it? Steel?
Blood and Steel.
I mean, it sounds intriguing.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds right up my alley.
I know.
Epic romantic fantasy, Legends of Thesmar. With her death foretold, Althea Zoltaire only has 3 years to become what she's always dreamed of being, a warrior legend. Women are forbidden to wield blades, so she has trained in secret her entire life. Now, racing against the clock, she fights to secure her place in the elite guild charged with the protection of the 5 kingdoms. The sparring and hazing of the new trainees border on deadly, but even more dangerous is her growing attraction to Wilder Hawthorne, her unwilling warrior chaperone. All around them, schemes are afoot and darkness looms. Will Althea pass the perilous initiation test and take her place as a champion of Thesmar? Or will the invading evil snatch away her dream before it starts? If you like fierce, sword-wielding heroines and brooding, tortured heroes, you will devour this sexy, addictive fantasy adventure.
See?
It is on Kindle Unlimited.
Ooh, see, extra points for Kindle Unlimited read.
Add to library.
Yeah.
I know.
I got
That,
guys,
and I just
have
bought
so many
Quicksilver
books.
because I actually haven't read it.
I have so many enormous fucking books in my TV.
Why?
list I need to
Quicksilver's
get
on
through.
Kindle Unlimited.
I know, but I like to have it on my Kindle and in hard copy.
Fair.
Because I like to hold the book, and I want the kid to see me reading that shit.
The problem with me is I go through books too quickly to...
I like to keep books that I have an emotional connection to. So if I like a book enough, I'll go buy it in hard copy and then
Sure.
That's what I did, with the Discovery of Witches. So Dougie bought it
Yeah.
for me in paperback. I'm planning on going back and getting the whole
Hardbacks.
thing in hardbacks.
Yeah.
So that one, The Throne of the Fallen, that you have right there, I'm hoping that they do one for each brother.
Oh, yeah.
Did you read those?
Not yet.
I'm hoping
She's
they
been-
do one for
she's
each
been-
brother.
I have been in
In
a
a
fucking fanfic death cycle I cannot get
911.
out
Get
of.
the fuck out of it. Let's
No.
go.
I am
One-
trying. And the thing is, the couple that I like, so Oliver Stark's character,
Bunch of demons and more demons.
I will read it.
And
but-
Bridgerton with demons.
and his first bisexual boyfriend, I love them together, but they're not together anymore in the show, so there's lots of fix it fanfics out there.
Yes, that is a thing.
And then I'm texting Claire about it. There was one where it's
What?
Look, I live.
they fix the relation they
if
break
you
up
don't-
in the show, but they fix it
If
out
you don't
in
like how the
fanfiction.
plot, if you
It
don't like how
goes-
the
you
plot
go
of
to
something
fanfic.
shakes out, you can do a fix it fanfic where you basically undo the plot.
Yeah,
point
and you
that
write
you
it,
don't like,
or
and
they get back together or something.
On what?
That's a
on
trope.
whatever your main
on whatever
character
TV
is.
show or video game
Where the
or
main
book or
couple is
whatever.
but then I was reading it and then I was texting her about this wait, this is the show, but they have dragons in it. And so I'm this is
okay, that's a crossover, is what
I'm
you're talking
this is
about.
a 911 meets kind of Fourth Wing because they're dragon raiders and what is happening?
Look, it is both fanfiction and the internet. There is some wild shit.
And
out
then
there,
there's
my
this whole
friends.
all of this M-preg stuff. I'm
Okay, that's fucking weird.
What?
It's where the
male
men get
pregnancy.
pregnant.
They're carriers
Yes,
where
no,
they can carry
that
kids.
is exactly.
They're not trans.
That is
They
exactly.
have an ability to carry babies.
That is exactly the
and
reaction.
I don't understand it.
Yes.
I don't get that.
If that is your thing,
Okay.
more power to you.
I mean, they're a queer couple, so I get where everything's written for. But I'm I have questions.
Look, man, it's the internet.
I know.
I like the idea of dragons, but I just I think that's
Okay,
kind
but
of
it's
red
also
Fourth
in a
Wing
television show about first
First
responders.
responders in Los
So,
Angeles.
the first responders are riding dragons instead of getting in ambulances. Is basically the gist that I got.
It's
out of
air
it.
support. They're
What?
air support. The first responders with
Get a fucking
helicopters.
helicopter.
Yes.
Oh no,
Exactly.
they have
No.
helicopters and planes, but they also have dragons. And that was the whole thing. I was very confused.
Because why not?
There's
Okay, Game of Thrones is one thing. That's just weird.
no, this is not.
That
This
is
is more
this is
Fourth
not
Wing
Game of
than
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I,
But,
I still haven't read
look.
my Fourth Wing. I don't know what it says about me, but I'm still more into vampires.
Yeah, it's fine.
Can we see what that means about us for next time? What does it mean if you like vampires? What does it mean if you prefer dragons?
You
What
want
does it mean if you
want
prefer?
someone to bite you.
I didn't know that was a thing. I
I'm
thought
not
it
sure.
just-
I don't
Twilight.
like.
It was
But
just Twilight.
Look, man.
I liked Twilight.
Look, man. I started.
I
with
like
the
Spooky Stackhouse.
To be fair,
I
I feel like vampires are definitely more associated with BDSM kind of world.
I don't like pain.
You don't have to be into pain to be into BDSM.
no.
You can just like to get tied
But,
up.
and BDSM is not.
It's a spectrum. BDSM is a spectrum.
I don't like pain and I don't like to be tickled.
It is not all 50
It's a
Shades of Grey.
No, it's a spectrum.
It is very much not all 50 Shades
No,
of Grey.
it's a spectrum. There's certain, and really, it's
Am I
not
weird
BDSM.
that I never read that? I honestly never read it.
It's fun. It's
No,
horrible.
it's not weird. You're not missing anything.
Okay.
Look,
They're dumb.
it's a fun. It's a dumb book. It's kind of like Twilight.
They're somehow dumber than Twilight.
I liked
and
Twilight
Twilight's dumb.
at the time.
Again, it's kind of similar, but again, I have personal issues with
What
it.
does Twilight say? What
It's vampires.
what does vampires say about me? I don't know.
I don't know what the vampire. Look, man. I have always been a fantasy girl.
I like fantasy.
I don't know what that says about me,
I
but that
think
is what I've
I've
always
seen-
been drawn
I
to.
think-
I always liked I grew up with fantasy.
Yes, I think I prefer shifters two
See?
vampires.
Oh, you're Jacob. You're Jacob and
I'm
not
more
Edward. Come on now.
I'm more Jake. Edward was one-dimensional
All of
and
it
was
was dumb.
pasty white.
I
And
know.
was sparkly.
Look, man,
We have a sparkle shimmer count for a reason.
It is saying something that I liked Edward over the beautiful native boys. Because, oh god, yeah. But I still want the vampires.
hated Edward.
I didn't like Edward either. I thought
I wanted the
was
beautiful
weird.
native boy.
Well, I always want a beautiful native boy. Yeah.
I liked one of the brothers.
But I've had a lot of those. Yeah. Just
I
saying.
liked one of the brothers in Twilight. I don't remember which one. Jasper?
No, Jasper the.
I don't remember.
He was the Civil War guy.
I read Twilight.
Jasper was the Civil War guy. I like the Butch, not the Butch, the
real
football player,
Oh, yeah.
the bros,
Yeah, the
sports
bro.
ball dude. Because I have a thing for sports ball.
Yeah, a whole
boys.
bunch of beautiful native men. Oh god. And
That
You
ran
know
around.
what? You know what? We need to get drunk and do that one.
Do Twilight?
Yes.
oh god.
Like
And when I
several decades later,
When
we're
I
talking
say
Twilight.
I didn't say we need to get drunk and do that one. I mean, like, we get in our pajam jams.
Yeah.
And order in food and get
Oh.
fucking wasted and do Twilight.
Oh my god.
Oh yes,
I
we
met
will
one of the
plan for
Twilight.
that.
I met one of the Twilight men. I think it was the one that was the head of the pack. Oh, fuck yeah.
Cullen?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
Sam! You met Sam.
Yes.
You met Sam.
Oh my.
That
God.
the so and so alpha.
The
Oh,
alpha,
I
the
remember
werewolf pack.
I don't remember
Oh
him.
god. I was fighting
No,
the other
see, it
girls
wasn't-
with him. And I was the vampire. Like I was rooting for the vampires in this. Because I'm a vampire.
You know
person.
what? I figured this is why I like the shifters.
I'm a vampire
They're
person.
naked.
Yeah.
I am a vampire person.
I like shifters, but if we're talking romantasy, definitely. So Laurel K. Hamilton's Anita Blake, it's
I
shifters.
thought you were talking to me for a minute. Okay.
Shifters
Yeah.
and vampires is the predominant, but I like the fae stuff. I like the fae.
I feel like these Fae don't really have their own thing much yet. Like they.
Dude, read Mary Gentry.
I read all of ACOTAR, and it's
No.
not like they're.
Don't read. No. Read Mary Gentry.
It's just like, how are they separate? What do they have that's special about them? I'm not quite sure.
No, read Mary Gentry.
Yeah, it depends.
It depends on the depiction of the fae.
It depends on the
Are you
fiction,
talking like
yes.
fairies, or are you talking light and dark fae with truly horrible Mary
Yeah.
Gentry? Like fae is a spectrum,
Yeah, it
like
is.
the BDSM thing.
It's a big spectrum.
Are you talking about, yeah, like, there's, like, ACOTAR politics, Fae, and then
I like
there's,
the politics. It's just, I don't think they get that much into the Fae part of it. Like, there is a lot
it's
of
kind
Fae.
of glossed
No.
over.
Whereas
Like,
the Mary Gentry,
the
they
high
get
fae
into
as
the
opposed to all
magic
the-
plays.
High
Yeah.
Fae as opposed to all the
Because-
fairies.
Well, the great thing with Mary Gentry, she's half mortal, but she has some of the most powerful magic in the world of fae. And she, in the world of Mary Gentry, the fae can't have babies anymore. The fertility is going down because
So
magic.
it's like white people here.
So magic
Okay.
is leaving. It's essentially saying magic is leaving
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it has the most royal, the high powered royals are if they can't have babies, the rest of fae can't have babies. And so she's half mortal, and they think because she's half mortal, she's less than nothing, but she's fertile, and she has some of the most powerful magic in the world.
That's kind of similar in ACOTAR.
Yeah.
but the magic plays heavily in the politics,
Yes.
and like the people that were loyal to other people go follow her, and like they make her out into like a bit of a succubus kind of situation.
Yeah.
Oh,
I call the kids.
what
the
was that
succubus queen all
show
the
that I
time.
loved that was a queer show? It was on Sci-Fi about the Fae, and the main character was a succubus. What is it?
I feel like I should know this, and I don't.
It's a Sci-Fi.
You're gonna tell
Fae
me.
What about the good one with
show.
Shannon Doherty and Rose
Lost
McGowan?
Girl. It was Lost Girl.
Yes.
I
Oh, it was
loved
so
Lost
good.
Girl.
Lost Girl was so good.
Did you all watch one with Rose McGowan and Shannon Doherty and them?
Charmed.
Charmed?
Yeah.
Oh God, no. Charmed was. Ugh.
I enjoyed that a long time ago.
The final episode of Charmed was fun.
I don't even know.
Where the kids came, the two boy, where the one that had kids, her 2 boys showed back up. It's a whole
I don't
thing.
know.
Yeah, Charmed didn't do it for me.
I watched
Supernatural
that.
very much
Did you
did.
see they're rebooting Buffy?
No.
Is Sarah Michelle Gellar's back?
No.
I follow her on Insta.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, they're rebooting.
It took me way
Shannon
too long
Doherty
to
had
watch
cancer.
Buffy.
She died.
Yeah.
What?
She had MS.
Oh
No.
You're thinking of Michelle Trachtenberg.
No, Shannon
Shannon
Doherty
Doherty
died.
also died.
She had cancer. She had breast cancer.
She
Came back.
did?
Breast
Oh,
cancer
that's
came back.
right. That's right.
It's
Oh.
who has MS is Cool Intentions.
Selma
Yeah,
Blair.
Selma.
Selma Blair. I'm
Yeah,
getting them mixed
Shannon
up.
Doherty
Selma
I think,
Blair?
died in 2024.
Yeah, Selma Blair has MS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She walks in a cane now
Yeah.
and has a service dog. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Shannon Doherty last year.
Shannon
died?
Doherty.
Ended last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
she had her cancer came
Yeah.
back aggressively
Aww.
and she passed away. But yeah, Lost Girl.
Lost Girl was really good. I miss sci-fi, just as an aside.
Killjoys. I really liked the first couple of seasons of Killjoys.
I remember Killjoys.
I feel like we're on a tangent. You're gonna have to cut this.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna incorporate it in the show
We're
because this
gonna
is
leave
part of the
this.
fun.
This was unhinged.
I
This is a
hope you
particularly
guys
unhinged
are enjoying
episode.
this conversation
Look,
with us.
the book was not great, so we're going off on a tangent.
Oh,
and
by
enjoying
the
So
ourselves.
we could also take part of this
I bought myself
Yeah.
a beautiful
leather
journal to
Yeah.
write about our books, and then I was at Target, and everybody should know that they have this really pretty one that's called "I'm Booked All Week," and it's a dedicated book reader's journal with a book review, and yeah,
Well, so I don't know.
it's very short, but it has 2 pages, and it has a table of contents and all the shit,
Oh, I love it.
so it's really nice,
Okay.
and it's $8, I think.
It's not bad.
So I'm trying to decide whether I should finish off my beautiful leather journal or what I would make it into if I switched to this, because I kind of want to switch to that. And I did buy it pre-boycott, just by the way.
I was gonna say, I wonder if there's other places I could get it.
Well, so Amplify has a book list.
Oh,
You can
that's
print.
true.
What are you guys reading now that we haven't started a new book yet? Anyone on anything new?
I'm still on a fanfic deep dive. It's
I'm on
fucking
Empire
cool.
Shadows.
And then I'm going to get into ACOTAR.
oh yeah, for
But
sure.
I've been told
You wanna see
until
that?
our next recording
that book review book.
that I can only read the first book
Only
of
read the
ACOTAR.
first book. It's
Just
gonna be
the
funnier.
first one.
It's gonna be funnier if you just read the first book because you're gonna be filled with so much rage.
And then we'll talk about it, and then you can read the rest.
You're gonna be filled with rage.
And we're gonna try to keep our freaking mouth shut.
And it's gonna be unhinged.
We're gonna keep our mouth shut.
I'm gonna try. But
I feel like this is something where instead of meeting every 2 weeks, we need a little
Is that
bit.
cute or
that's
what?
cute.
I feel like this instead of we need to do if we're going to do ACOTAR, we need to meet more every week. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my mind and not be able to read the next book.
Well, but I'm saying that we'll do ACOTAR one episode, one recording, and then 2 weeks later do the rest of them.
But see, I'm going to lose my mind if I have to wait 2 weeks.
No. What I'm saying is that you read.
So what you do is
you
you
read
read
the first book.
ACOTAR the
You read
day before
we
you read-
talk
you
about
read
it.
ACOTAR.
And then you read the rest
Okay.
of them.
You read
Okay.
ACOTAR on Saturday. We record
Sunday,
on Sunday.
and then you can read the rest of them.
And then you read the rest of them the rest of the week. I want you to be filled with rage.
And then we need to do where we get drunk and do Twilight.
And we need to get
that'd be
absolutely
fun.
A girls'
trashed-
night where we get
absolutely
drunk
trashed
and
do
do
Twilight.
Twilight.
I'm
Where
pretty sure
it's-
I don't own those anymore, but I'm sure we'll find them.
They can't be that difficult to find.
No.
Go to
I got rid of
go
it.
to Half Price Books. They probably have several copies
Oh, God,
of all
yeah.
of them
I'm
for
sure.
a
That's
couple
true.
bucks each. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Anyway.
At work, we've been doing a little library, so I'll probably put some of these books that I'm on there.
Just fine with. Anyway.
But I could bring. Normally I'm I'm gonna bring them to Half Price Books. I never go.
Or we can put a bookshelf and we can put all the books in the bookshelf.
We could.
Most of the ones I brought you guys,
We could start a community library kind of thing.
Dude,
just between the 3 of us.
I know.
you not see my walls.
I just splurged on a bigger bookshelf for myself for all of my books because they're literally in piles around my bedroom. and my
podcast day.
Piles underneath my nightstand.
So
I got
our
tired
pod
of looking. I had no room under the nightstand. I had no room on the desk. I needed a bigger bookshelf.
this is why everything's on digital for me. But Podloft has
I don't like digital.
we
I
have
want a real
I go back
book.
we have
and forth.
cabinet that goes up to the base of the window, and then from the window to the ceiling is bookshelves.
What's in the cabinet?
Stuff.
Stuffies, cleaning supplies, paint. Oh, we forgot vagina names.
Oh, let's do that before we go. Okay, so she sent us this thing where you come up with your right. You look at your first initial and your last initial.
Yes, and we will share it on social because that's where I found it. It is by Boozy Biatch or Bitch or whatever. What's your vagina name? Okay. I am Jelly Buffet.
I am Princess Tunnel.
Princess Tunnel.
Thanks a lot.
I'm Jelly Cake.
You have the best one.
Yeah,
don't.
Princess
Mine
Tunnel's
is
not awesome.
I love Princess Tunnel is unhinged.
I have
hilarious.
Jelly Buffet, okay? I have Jelly Buffet.
At least someone's eating it.
Look, man,
Shit.
this was your idea.
I just thought it was
Okay,
funny.
if you could pick out your favorite one, no matter what, what your name was, what would it be?
Sex Pocket.
Sparkle Cookie.
Super Poodle.
Oh, Sparkle Kitty.
Rainbow.
I like alliteration. How about Sex Snatch?
Rainbow Snatch.
Devil Snatch.
Bitch Box.
Jelly Snatch. Sparkle Snatch.
Devil Snatch, Sparkle Kitty.
Smuggler. Okay, Sparkle Smuggler. Flower.
Dazzle Snatch.
Flower
Dazzle
Factory.
Snatch.
Dazzle Snatch.
Angel Flaps.
Venus Smuggler.
Oh, these are so fun. We'll share this. So,
I like Muffin. Let me
what is
see.
your vagina name? These are silly. It's fun.
Honey Muffin? That could go either way, you know what I mean? Like, you could say that without people knowing.
Yep.
You could say that to your husband, like, how about you go get the Honey Muffin? Who had the buffet? Did you have the buffet?
I was Jelly Buffet.
Yeah, she's Jelly Buffet.
That is not sexy or attractive. That's just messy and kind of meh. Oh, this is fun.
Devil Smuggler.
Oh, you know what
Meat Muffin.
we should share also when we do the Akatar is all this stuff on Akatar you've shared with us.
Oh shit, there's a ton.
those videos.
Oh god, TikTok, like...
Well, she shared
book
one.
talk makes a completely different kind of sense when you actually read the damn book.
Candy Cave!
Candy Cave.
I personally like that one.
Well, because she shared one where the person was like, I know people hate Akatar, Akatar, but here's why I love it. And I'm just like...
I couldn't help but send you those because I know you're going to read it. And then and she's really good because she's like, no spoilers, just the first one.
Okay, so our next recording will be...
And oh my god, okay. Reading smut is still reading. Good girl.
Yep.
Cheers to that.
You are learning so many important things.
That just popped up on my thing, too.
Proud of you.
That's weird.
It's weird because it's Mr. Rogers.
It's weird because
Yeah.
it's Mr. Rogers. Reading smut, still reading.
So we're gonna do
But why
Akatar.
is the rum
So-
gone?
I know. We're drinking rum, so it's, why is the rum gone?
But why is the rum gone?
Or, hide the rum. Anywho, wow, this is a long episode.
Dude, we got off on so many fucking tangents.
Let's wrap this shit
Yes.
up.
All
Wrap it
right.
up.
So we've talked booze and we've talked books and all sorts of other things. Like, listen, follow, and subscribe on social media.
Hopefully you love us.
Fuck if we know what we're doing half the time.
Come join us.
And cheers, bitches.
Cheers.
Cheers.